Okay, what is going on, Savage Life family? And I'm just gonna go ahead and hop right into it. For those of you who don't know, Mark Cuban today hopped onto Wallstreetbets and had an AMA, which means Ask Me Anything, to the community. Yes, this is the actual Mark Cuban, the multi-billionaire Shark Tank entrepreneur, and he really did have a lot of good answers to these questions, so let's go ahead and get right to it. So one of these questions that they asked him was, why is the stock plummeting so much? And Mark Cuban answered this with supply and demand, by supply and demand, but in this case it literally could be because the source of demand has been crippled. When Robinhood shut it down, then cut it back, let's put aside why they cut the greatest source of demand. They created a Robinhood dive. No Robinhood buyers means sellers lowers their price to find buyers, and they keep on lowering till they find buyers, keeping the most natural buyers out of the market, and the price keeps falling. Then that drop accelerates because the more the stock falls, the more owners who bought on margin get margin calls. When that margin call happens, it's brutal. They just take your stock, send you a screw you note, and sell your stock at the market price, no matter how low. They just want to get your cash to pay back the loan. That then accelerates the selling, which then leads what we are seeing in the market right now on GME particular. So what to do? If you can't afford to hold the stock, you hold. I don't own it, but that's what I would do. Why? Because when Robinhood and the other online brokers open it back up to the buyers, then we will see what Wallstreetbets is really made of. That is when you get to make it all work. I have no doubt that there are funds and big players that have shorted this stock again, thinking they are smarter than everyone on Wallstreetbets. I know you are going to hate to hear this, but the lower it goes, the more powerful Wallstreetbet can be stepping up to buy the stock again. The only question is, what broker do you use? Do you stay with Robinhood, who is going to have the same liquidity problems over and over again, or do you as a group find a broker with far better balance sheet that won't cut you off and then go ham on Wall Street? Now that is definitely the issue here with Robinhood. Robinhood has millions of users that use Wallstreetbets, and the huge issue was that they could not buy GME or AMC or Naked, whatever stock it was, due to the limitations that Robinhood had because they couldn't afford to leverage the stock. So seeing as you're not allowed to buy the stock and only sell, obviously the price is only going to plummet. And even till now, they did raise $5 billion and hired the limits. As you can see here, AMC is now 1,250 shares, where it was only 10 shares yesterday. So that means they're trying to keep their clients. But if we want a majorly big movement, like at the beginning of GME where it erupted, we're going to have to transition to better brokerages at the end of the day. Next question. How do you think the SEC will respond to the GME situation? New regulations on retail trading. The SEC is a mess. I wouldn't trust them to do the right thing ever. It's an agency built by and for lawyers to be lawyers and win cases rather than to do the right thing. If the SEC gave a crap about anyone other than Wall Street, you would be able to go right now and read bright line guidelines about insider trading, shorting, what is a pump and dump, what are the rules for cutting off the purchases of stocks like what happened with GME. But they won't. They would rather litigate to regulate, which means they love to sue people in order to create new legal precedents. All you need to know about the SEC and how badly they want to screw the little guy is that they have the option of using judges that work for the SEC when they sue you, rather than you have the option to have jury of your peers in front of a judge that is independent. That's how bad the SEC is. If you want fair markets that doesn't benefit Wall Street, call your local politician and show them this. So AOC did go on Twitch. She is a congresswoman for New York, and this has been across articles, news, social medias. There's two sides to the story, but Congress should definitely hop onto this after what happened. Our voice has been heard, not all across the country, but it has been heard. And now the community of Wall Street is getting bigger. which is only increasing the local retail traders' power. So next question was about the hedge funds, and the press bard asked, Mark, what do you make of the blatant market manipulation of short ladder attacks occurring right this very minute by the hedge funds? And he explained, I don't think it's manipulation. I think the rules are set to benefit them, and they have years of experience exploiting those rules. Your Congress people can change the rules to make them fairer for small investors. They haven't given a shit up until now. Maybe people on this board can change their minds, meaning politicians only care about getting reelected or putting money in their pockets up until this very date, and it is pretty much up to us or whoever we elect to get them and motivate them to do so. So he answered another question here, and the question was, hey Mark, thanks for doing this. What are your thoughts on which services to use? I'm planning on getting out of Robinhood for obvious reasons. Any retail trading companies you'd recommended? I want to support free trade and hit Robinhood in the wallet for what they've done here. Any legitimacy to a class action lawsuit against them? He answered, pick the brokerage with the strongest balance sheet. What ruined it on Robinhood is that they didn't have enough cash to deal with the growth in accounts, margin loans, and volatility. The exact same thing will happen at the next broker. If you don't make sure they have a multi-trillion-dollar balance sheet to be able to handle these kinds of circumstance. And there will be class action suits, and they will be combined, and they will win. And you will get a check for less than $10. So if you're looking for something major, pretty much is what he's saying is these class action lawsuits do not give you much money at the end of the day. Yes, they do dig into Robinhood's pockets quite a bit, but Robinhood will be able to get back in their feet. What would really hurt them is transitioning over to different brokerage. That is where you truly get Robinhood. Now, with this kind of volatility in the market, has Wallstreetbets forever changed the way things will be done on Wall Street? He answered, yes, Wallstreetbets leveraged the value of community. They took it to the people and made it bottom up. There's so much power and upside, and sometimes it's expensive to learn. Anyone who has traded for a while has learned an expensive lesson they couldn't afford. I know I have. Next time, Wallstreetbets will be smarter, and next time can still be around GME, AMC, etc. There will be point in the stock where Wall Street starts saying, I told you so. Let that happen for a few weeks, then hit them again. At a broker with the financial strength to never have to shut you off. Meaning, there's many brokers out there like Fidelity, Vanguard. Those are nearby multi-trillion-dollar brokers that could never cut you off. TD Ameritrade is also another great one. Webull is questionable because if it gets to a point where these brokers are going to have to put up tens of billions of dollars, I'm not sure Webull will be able to cover that, but they are better than Robinhood at the end of the day. There's one last question that he answered that I want you guys to see, and it is it in the realm of possibility that these hedge funds just don't cover their shorts at all? They go full felon and act like it never happened, aka fake news? And Mark Cuban answered that their goal is to never cover their short, but that would take the company going out of business or being delisted. That won't happen here. Best thing you can do is hold on to the stock and do business with GameStop. If everyone goes to their website and buys from them, that is going to help the community, which will help the stock, which will help everyone here. If you still believe in the reason you bought the stock and that hasn't changed, why sell? So he's pretty much stating that if you can afford to hold the stock, then hold the stock, because at the end of the day you are still fighting against these hedge funds and you're hitting them where it hurts. These hedge funds are still going behind your back and shorting the stock, thinking that they are smarter than the community and that they will win in the long-term battle. But this is only the start of, this is only a battle. The war has just started and it is going to be a long ride. So Wallstreetbets community, if you aren't in it, be sure to join the community, stay in it, and be on the lookout for any other stocks that they mention. Now, don't just go in and throw your whole life savings or do some degenerate plays. Obviously, do your own due diligence and only play with money that you can afford to lose. Like he stated, that a majority of traders are going to experience expensive lessons. Myself, I had purchased Snap. I did do my due diligence. I read the chart. I believe that Snap was going to break this $59 mark before the 29th, but I timed it wrong. I should have bought my calls expiring on the 19th, but I bought them expiring on the 29th, which cost me over $1,000 loss. At the end of the day, it was all profits, but I don't like losing a certain percentage, so that affected me in a big way, and it changed my mindset when playing calls options. I put them closer in the money and spread them a lot further months just in case I make that technical analysis mistake now. So the best thing to do is to learn from your mistake. And there you have it. That was Mark Cuban. If you guys have any questions, drop it down below in the comments, as well as I hope this helped a lot of you guys who are suffering at the current moment with the changes that are happening on the stocks of AMC, GME, and the other Wall Street bet hype stocks. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like, subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys on the next update. See ya. Again.